Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the June 17th, 2014 meeting of the Piqua City Commission. Would you all make sure that your cell phones are turned completely off, please? And then stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Follow my own advice. Thank you. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Mayor Fess.
Here.
Commissioner Martin.
Here.
Commissioner Vogt.
Here.
Commissioner Wilson.
Here.
Commissioner Terry.
Here. For our first item this evening, we have a presentation to our Bike for Work Week Awards, and I think Mr. Hemmert is going to come up and tell us a little bit about this event.
Good evening, Commissioners. I'm Jim Hemmert from Boone Street, Piqua. And this only being our second year of Bike to Work Week. And as I mentioned last year, we do it a little bit different than what National does. We try to involve the whole city rather than riding to a spot, getting a donut, and then going out and riding your bike. We have all our people start at work or on their way to work. And then at the end, we have a nice presentation for those who rode a lot that week. And just to give you a little bit of difference between last year and this year, and it really is not a little bit of difference. Last year, Hartselle Propeller rode 273 miles. This year, 427. Miami Valley Steel, 177 up to 312. The City of Piqua, 173 to 233. YMCA 113 to 127. Piqua Family Practice 63 to 174. They tripled what they had done previously. And a new arrival this year is Bennett Intermediate School. You ready for this? 584 miles those kids rode in a week. Give you some comparisons to last year also. Last year, the savings in fuel per gallon was 37 gallon. It was 105 this year. Last year, the savings in money per gallon was $139, 382 this year. Calories burned by riding a bike last year was 31,000. It was 89,000 this year. The difference between riding a bike and sitting in the car or truck, we had 89,000 miles riding a bike, 4,000 calories, sitting in the car. We saved or burned 85,000 more calories by hopping on the bike. We have 4 categories. Last year we had 2. We have the student category, the small entity category, the small entity or sole entity category, small entity and large entity. And I would really like to, Lucy, will you help me? Mayor, will you help me?
Sure.
And while she's coming down here, we had 12 restaurants participate in the Bike to Work Week. If you rode your bike to work, you received a coupon from your company to go to one of the 12 restaurants and receive a free drink. And those restaurants were Beppo Uno's, CJ's Pizza, which was new, Susie's Big Dipper, Rally's, Buffalo Wings, Pizza Hut, Subway, Winans, McDonald's, Pizza di Roma, Dairy Queen, and Lee's Famous Recipe, which is also new. So we picked up 2 new restaurants to help us with our project. And now, with pleasure, wow, we got a bunch of stuff here. The winner of the, oh, you go outside, you know the winter is going. The large entity was Hartzell Propeller, 427 miles. Hartzell Propeller. Here is your certificate. This is your certificate of participation, along with the individuals who rode with you. And has to be in here somewhere. You are now the proud recipient of the Silver Medal Award. Thank you very much for your participation.
And this is Heidi Hennessy.
Heidi Hennessy, thank you very much.
Thanks, Heidi.
Yeah, let's save that one. The winner of the Small Entity Award for 2014 is Piqua Family Practice. Last year they rode 63 miles, this year 173.
Wow. Thank you.
And Cindy, this is the certificate for the company and certificates for the individual who took part. And once again, the Shiny Silver Pedal Award goes to Piqua Family Practice.
Can you all just give us your names before you go back? I don't know if I remember.
You're going to have to help me, Cindy.
Cindy Pearson.
Marcia.
Susan Spears. Debbie Landis.
Thank you all for being here.
Thank you very much. The winner of the Silver Pedal Award for 2014 for the sole entity is Treon's Barbershop.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Jim.
And your certificate and comparisons of previous years, what we've done.
Okay.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Want to announce your name?
Michael Treon.
Michael Treon, yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
And our last winner is our newest entry. This year we asked the schools to participate. And Mr. Chip Hare and his group of fine people have stepped forward. And the Bennett Intermediate School rode 584 miles last year. Mr. Chip Hare.
There we go. I'm going to give it to him.
Accepting the award for intermediate school is Chip Hare and his son Landon. Landon, how would you like to have the Silver Pedal Award, buddy?
All right, you can share that with the students. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And once again, it was a wonderful week. Chris Smeezing and his committee that he put together, we were able to accomplish all the things that we accomplished. So there's a lot of people behind the scenes that have made this work.
And always there is Piqua's Mr. Bicycle, Jim
Come
Hemmer.
on, no, don't say
Yeah.
that.
We'll now move to our consent agenda, which holds the approval of the minutes from the June 3rd, 14 regular Piqua City Commission and the June 6th special Piqua City Commission meeting.
I move we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Thank you. It's moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor signify stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The consent agenda has been approved. Moving to old business, ordinance number 3-14. This is the third reading.
An ordinance repealing Schedule A of Chapter 33 of the Piqua Code and adopting a new Schedule A of Chapter 33 of the Piqua Code relating to wages of certain municipal employees.
Ms. Barton will provide the staff report.
Thank you, Mr. Huff. Ordinance number 3-14 revises Schedule A, which covers the salaries of non-union employees. The changes are to include 2 new positions of IT administrator and SCADA administrator, reinstate the positions of assistant water superintendent and assistant wastewater superintendent, adjust the salary and title of the water distribution supervisor to assistant underground utility superintendent at the same pay range as the other assistant positions. The pay range for the IT and SCADA administrators was determined through the recent pay classification study, as well as obtaining salary requirements from the applicants who applied for the positions. The salary range for the assistant water and wastewater superintendents is the same range that had been established for these positions previously.
Thank you, Elaine. Commissioners, do you have any questions for the Human Resource Director or the City Manager? If not, this is a third reading, so I would entertain a motion to accept.
Move to adopt ordinance 3-14.
Second.
Moved and seconded to adopt ordinance 3-14. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Martin,
Aye.
Mayor Fess,
Aye.
Commissioner Terry,
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt,
Aye.
Commissioner Wilson.
Aye.
Ordinance number 3-14 has been adopted. Ordinance number 4-14.
An
This
ord-
also, excuse me, Becky, this also is a third reading.
An ordinance repealing Schedule A1 of Chapter 33 of the Piqua Code and adopting a new Schedule A1 of Chapter 33 of the Piqua Code and adopting a new Schedule A1 of Chapter 33 of the Piqua Code relating to wages of certain municipal employees.
Ms. Barton.
Thank you. Ordinance number 4-14 revises Schedule A1, which covers the salaries of seasonal, part-time, and temporary employees. The changes are to include the position of SCADA administrator and to reflect a change to the golf course to include the use of a cart if available. The pay rate for the part-time SCADA administrator is just below the entry rate for the full-time position.
Thank you. Commissioners, any questions?
Just had a little question on the golf cart availability. If we have just one left and they take it, the next person wouldn't have any. Is there any, how do we?
I think it's just based on the availability.
But I mean, if we have one, they get it?
If it's that busy, probably not.
Okay.
But if there's plenty available, then it's not
Okay,
an issue.
I'm just wondering, okay, that's fine.
Any other questions? Anyone in the audience wish to address this ordinance? If not, could I have a motion to adopt?
I move we adopt ordinance number 4-14.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt ordinance number 4-14. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Wilson,
Aye.
Commissioner Martin,
Aye.
Mayor Fess,
Aye.
Commissioner Terry,
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt.
Aye.
Ordinance number 4-14 has been adopted. Ordinance number 5-14, also a third reading.
An ordinance to vacate a portion of public right-of-way.
Mr. Smeezing will provide the staff report.
Thank you. As mentioned previously, this item, if enacted, would allow for the vacation of a portion of public alley right-of-way from Nicklin Avenue heading towards the east. And then the alley would subsequently be realigned and a new portion of public right-of-way would be dedicated. At the end of the day, the entire tract of land to be occupied by the Piqua Intermediate School would be replatted to reflect the changes in the alley alignment. Nothing new to add to the discussion, although I would point out that there was a revision to the alley approach per the previous discussions at the City Commission meeting, and I believe you all have a copy of that drawing that was submitted by Mr. South from the Piqua City Schools. So I would defer to him if there are particular questions about that.
That might have been submitted, but it's not in the packet to vote on.
I think we handed it out at the last meeting, at the
But it should-
special meeting.
If we're going to vote on this, it should be in our
Well, I have copies here I'll be happy to give to you.
And we have them at home.
Thank you.
This one.
It'll make it easier.
Anything else? Any questions?
Now, do we have to amend this to add this?
Do we have,
So it's what we're voting on, that this is a part of it? Or if we vote on this the way it is, will that cover the amendment to it also?
Well, I think that this is the design of their new layout. So I think what they're vacating is not part of this.
not part of the
Yeah,
design?
the action is on the, to allow the
Vacation
alley right
part.
away to be vacated and realigned.
Right.
Yeah.
It's certainly understood by way of the comments and discussion that's taken place, and it'll be a part of the meeting minutes that this is the preferred design alternative, and that's what we would require of the school.
Okay, all right.
Anything else, commissioners?
Does this, Kurt, do you mind answering? Does the grid part of this paper right here,
Yes.
is that going to be paved so that you can make that left turn? Because
That-
it needs to be a wide area to get,
The grid
To make
portion of
left.
that is sidewalk. What you're pointing to is sidewalk.
Okay.
The gray is the relocated alley.
this one.
Right. And based on our previous discussions, we changed the radius of that, where the pavement would be, to a 15-foot radius. So it'll be a smooth surface to drive over.
Okay. Well, Joe and I went out and performed a little test of our own.
Yes,
Good.
we
And,
did.
and we also thought too, that across the street, along Ann Street, there along that house that faces Nicklin Avenue on the corner, that we need to paint the curbing so that there isn't any parking there.
And
That would
and we indicated
restrict-
that we will take
Did we
care of
do
doing
that?
that. Yeah. That'd
Yeah.
be the city's responsibility. We'll take care of that.
Okay. But we could,
Put no
you know,
parking
make
on
sure,
that. We-
yeah, make sure that there isn't any parking
Right.
there, so that would restrict a
Right.
person turning left, that there wouldn't be a car there to be interfering.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but would you introduce yourself and also give your
Sure. I'm Kurt
address?
South. I'm with Piqua City Schools.
Okay, thank you. Just for the records, we knew who you were.
Along with the parking restriction on the south side, we would have to restrict that. I think it's typically about 8 foot per side, at least based on the alley that was there across the street. I assume we do the same thing here.
Yeah, we'll evaluate the whole thing and
Yeah.
take care of any no parking needs that need to be applied in this particular case.
Yeah, it looked like about 2 parking spots on the north side from what we could tell, and I put my car in peril, but luckily she didn't hit it. But we wanted to check it out, and did you do it with the trailer?
I did the same thing, yes, and my car was in peril also, and came to the same conclusions that
Okay,
you all
good.
have.
That's what I,
Okay.
yeah, that makes sense, I think.
Yes.
Chris, did you have a comment? I saw you.
Oh, no, I think Gary already responded.
Okay. Any other questions of Kurt? If not, thank you, Kurt.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Well, this is a third reading, so we need a motion.
I'll move to adopt ordinance number 5-14.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt ordinance number 5-14. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Vogt,
Aye.
Mayor Best,
Aye.
Commissioner Martin,
Aye.
Commissioner Terry,
Aye.
Commissioner Wilson.
Aye.
Ordinance number 5-14 has been adopted. Ordinance number 7-14.
It's also a third reading.
Oh, excuse me, Becky. Yes, this is also a third reading. We're getting rid of all of them tonight, hopefully.
An ordinance to vacate a portion of public right-of-way.
Mr. Smeezing.
Again, this item, if enacted, would allow for the vacation of a portion of public alley right-of-way. This section is between Campbell Street and Downing Street. This is kind of the first step in a series of actions that the American Legion has planned to facilitate some planned improvements to their property, including both the parking area and ultimately an additional building improvement that they would like to construct. I believe Mr. Felver from the American Legion is here to answer any questions.
Thank you, Chris. Commissioners, do you have any questions? Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak for or against this resolution or ordinance? If not, would the clerk please call the roll?
I need a motion.
Oh, yes, we need them. Goodness.
Move to adopt ordinance 7-14.
Second.
Now, would the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Wilson,
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt,
Aye.
Commissioner Martin,
Aye.
Mayor Fest,
Aye.
Commissioner Terry.
Aye.
Ordinance number 7-14 has been adopted. We'll move now to new business, resolution number R-76-14.
A resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a lease agreement to permit the usage of a portion of Fountain Park, Hardman Field Enhanced Pavilion to the Piqua 4th of July Association.
I'll ask Ms. Wald to comment on this item.
Thank you. This is a lease we enter into yearly for the 4th of July Association celebration at Fountain Park, and the lease and approval are always contingent upon the proper insurance requirements. It goes through the same process we have for all of our special events, so they're aware of what's needed in terms of setup, cleanup, and insurance requirements.
Thank you, Stacy. I think we have some representatives here from the 4th of July Association. If, Commissioners, if you have any questions?
I know last year we talked about some sort of deposit to verify that things were done properly, whether it was cleanup, or let's say the trash wasn't cleaned properly. What would we do in that case?
This particular item, we really haven't had any problem as far as cleanup.
Well,
and
I
so
understand.
forth.
I'm just saying if it did happen, what would we do?
Well, we'd certainly be contacting the organization to see about getting it cleaned up, and if not, then we'd have to obviously do it.
Yeah.
I think there's a really slim chance of that
Well, I
happening after
understand,
all
but-
these years, yeah. And they're very responsible. So, and I think the Boy Scouts help with that, don't they? The cleanup and the setup, yeah. So we'll take their badges away, Joe. No, I don't think we need to worry about it. Is there anyone else that has any questions? If not,
I'll move to adopt resolution R-76-14.
thank you.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt resolution number R-76-14. Would the clerk call the roll?
Commissioner Terry,
Aye.
Commissioner Wilson,
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt,
Aye.
Commissioner Martin,
Aye.
Mayor Fest.
Aye. Resolution number R-76-14 has been adopted. Resolution number R-77-14.
A resolution awarding a contract to L.J. DeWeese Company for the Sidewalk ADA Compliance Program.
Mr. Grazer with the Engineering Department will provide the staff report.
Thanks, Gary. This resolution is regarding the ADA compliance program that we have to comply with before we do our street resurfacing for 2014. The work basically includes 72 catch basins and 113 ADA ramps that we're going to be doing out for bids. You can see the attached Exhibit A in your folder.
Thank you, Bob. Commissioners, any questions on this resolution? Anyone in the audience wish to speak for or against this resolution?
We'll move to adopt resolution R-77-14.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number R-77-14. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Wilson,
Aye.
Commissioner Vogt,
Aye.
Commissioner Martin,
Aye.
Commissioner Terry,
Aye.
Mayor Fest.
Aye. Resolution number R-77-14 has been adopted. That brings us to the end of our agenda there. Our monthly reports are in for April of 2014 and have been accepted. We'll move now to public comment. So if there's anyone in the audience that would like to address the commission, please come forward. If not, we'll move to the city manager's report.
Thank you very much. Wanted to congratulate both Main Street Piqua and the Piqua Arts Council for conducting what I think is a very successful Rock Piqua concert. This was their first of the series of the three that'll happen this year. Hopefully it'll be expanded next year. The next concert is June 28th, and we're expecting a very nice crowd for that. Also, wanted to extend congratulations to Johnston Farm for the dedication of the Education Center this past Saturday, which is another great attraction. Johnston Farm, of course, is a huge tourism facility for our area, and having their Education Center there is a great benefit. So we want to congratulate them on completing that and getting it done in a very, very quality way. We confirmed this week that Dunham Sports will be opening in the Miami Valley Center Mall, and they'll actually be opening before the holiday season. They are a pretty large sports store and should be good for business and attracting people to come to the area. We do have some openings on our boards and committees, one on the Park Board and one on the Tree Committee, and we have two on the Stormwater Utility Board. So if citizens are interested in that, please get in touch and contact my office, and or on our website you can actually apply there. Finally, I'll mention we're doing a lot of large patching of our streets right now. Tonight's approval of the sidewalk handicap ramps begins our paving season, and once we have both the ramps and the catch basins repaired, we already have over 20 streets that are on our paving list, and we'll be adding more as we evaluate those. But we're going to try to do a lot more paving this year than we've ever done. Obviously, our streets need it, so that's a big focus and priority for us for this summer and the rest of the year, to get our streets in as good a shape as possible. But you are going to start seeing later this summer a lot of paving, so might as well get ready for those detours and so forth. So with that, I'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Gary, are we going to do any crack sealing similar to what we did on the
Yes. We will be doing crack sealing. We'll probably be doing some slurry seal too, along with regular paving, and then a lot of patching. Right now, we are trying to focus on large patching jobs where we have to go in and re-mill and remove the base and rebase it in a sense. So we do have a lot of areas that have crumbled, and that's about the only way you can fix it. So if you go into, I think today, I know they were on North and Green doing some huge, but we have a lot of locations throughout the city. We're actually contracting with Tycon to come in and help us with that. So we're doing some milling, and they're coming in and starting this week and doing the actual paving and so forth. So we should start to see some really good progress here very shortly.
Are we thinking about getting any of our own equipment to do large paving on our own?
Well, that's something I think that we'll take a look at, but there are a lot of contractors, and we just need to evaluate what's the best way, most economical way for us to handle that, whether to invest in equipment or whether to actually contract with it. So we're going to be looking at that very closely for this upcoming budget.
Okay.
Any other questions for the city manager? If not, let's start with Commissioner Vogt.
Well, first again. Boy, sitting out on my back porch where I spend most of my time, looking up and down Linden Avenue and Young, I would like to thank all my neighbors for taking such good care of their properties. We have 8 rentals there on Linden, and they all are very, very nice. Yards are good, the places are nice, and thank you people for helping our neighborhood look good. And they're also doing the same on Young Street. So I did this last year. I'd just like to thank them for stepping up and taking care of their properties. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Bill. John, Commissioner Martin?
Nothing tonight.
Nothing? Commissioner Terry?
We enjoyed the concert the other night, and we had Mike had a zombie dog, and we both had Susie's ice cream. The zombie dogs were interesting, but anyway, it was fun. The band concerts are going to be starting at the Hans Pavilion. I believe they start this Thursday, so they're usually at 7 o'clock, Hans Pavilion. If you like march music, big band music, Broadway stuff, go over and listen to them. Really nice to do. Also on Thursdays is the Farmers Market over on Canal Place, and that's always a fun place to go. And I'm not sure if this is the week they're having the chocolate chip cookie contest or not, but they've been having different contests throughout.
I think it's the Jam this week.
Is it the Jam? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I'm watching that closely.
Okay. But I imagine there'll be strawberries there to pick up since it's the season. But anyway, that's on Thursdays also. And I think that's all I have.
Thank you, Judy. Commissioner Wilson.
I just want to talk a little bit about people who are driving while on their phone, or on their phone while they're driving, however you want to say it. It's not only dangerous, it's rude, and it's illegal. And I about hit a guy because he ran through a four-way stop. You know, he's driving, looking at his phone, and didn't even know there was a stop sign, know there was someone coming. So, and I saw another guy today at a four-way stop. You know, there's 4 cars there. He's watching his phone. Nobody would move, and just kind of ridiculous. So, I'm sure the phone calls are not that important. So just don't drive at. And I think I read somewhere that if you're on your phone driving, it's equivalent of being a drunk driver as far as your attention span and the whole bit. So we're so worried about drunk drivers, but we don't seem to be worried about the people on their phones, or people don't realize how dangerous it is. So don't do that, and I don't want to run into somebody because I might lose a vote or two. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Joe. And I have to agree with you. It is amazing
getting
how many
worse.
people
It's
are
getting
talking
worse.
on their phones when you see them. It's just incredible, the percentage of people who are doing that. So you're right. It's very dangerous, and we need to remind people of that.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you didn't hit the guy.
Yeah, I was close.
Just a couple things. I would like to comment about the Rock Piqua event as well. I was amazed. I believe, Chris, you said there were 1,812 or 22, which? 1,812 people there at Loch Nine Park. I didn't even know you could get 1,812 people in Loch Nine Park. It certainly amazed me that that was that crowd that was there. And there's still plenty of room for more, so we can go for 2,000 for the next time or more. Also just wanted to mention that also a part of that was positively promoting Piqua, and they had volunteers there from their group who were working. In fact, Dan Raymer was there most all of the morning and most of the afternoon, sweeping the gutters on Water Street, cleaning up any debris that was there so it would look nice that evening. It was a great evening, not only to be there for the concert, but just to be there to mingle and visit with people, because you saw lots of friends and family there, and it's just a great event. And Chris, I just want to thank you and your committee that I know worked very, very hard. They were down there all day in the heat, and it was certainly appreciated. So we look forward to the when is it, the
June 28th.
June 28th, and I understand, what's the name of the band that's going to be there?
Clark Manson is the
Clark
headliner.
Manson.
Yeah.
And he's kind of country?
He's a country singer, and he's an up-and-coming country superstar at that, so it
And
should be a good
I hear
show.
he's really, really good. So
he's very
we're
talented.
looking forward to that, and I'm sure, let's get over 2,000 down there this next
We're
time.
aiming for 3.
Okay?
3,000.
All right, well, that certainly was a wonderful event, and I know how hard that committee worked to put that together, so we want to thank them. There's just a lot of things going on in Piqua, and we couldn't do any of this without the volunteers. It's amazing how many volunteers are working here for our city, and we appreciate it. Jim Hemmert was sharing with me a little earlier tonight that he ran into some people from, where did he say they were from? New York or somewhere. And they were standing down here in the corner looking at the post office and the plaza and the bank. And they were saying they've never seen buildings like that in a small town such as this. And so we do have a lot of things they were just on their way through and had come downtown to look over things and said, you have a really lovely town. And I think sometimes we do overlook those assets that we have here in our community and that other people see when they come out. So I appreciate Jim sharing that with me, and I just wanted to let everybody know that people that come into the town see the work that's going on here, and we really appreciate everybody that's helping make that happen. With that, that's all I have tonight. I'd like a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor signify aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.